Friday is a podcast about dark romance and monster smut. So if you're not down for weird shit, this is not the show for you. Content may include explicit sexual description, explicit language, conversations about human to human monster, and monster to monster sexual activities. Masturbation, questionable consent, morally gray ethics, murder out of jealousy, BDSM themes and tropes, fictional pregnancy, violence, emotional gut-wrenching story arcs, and all of the kinks. Oh, and dubious insertion of inanimate objects. We're multicultural, multipolitical, multisexual, multiracial group. We believe in inclusiveness, body positivity, bodily autonomy, and human rights for all. But we also like talking about characters getting railed by monsters and humans alike. Overall, prepare for cackling, tangents, general unhinged commentary. We're probably going to annoy the majority of the general population, but if you don't like it, instead of clutching your pearl necklace, you can just not listen. Okay, thanks, bye!
Hung like a horse really never had much of a meaning until now. I try not to stare and fail. I can handle fangs, the tail, the suede-like bluish-gray skin. Heck, I'm cool with the horns that curl around his head like a badass crown of some kind. And I tell myself that I should realize that a dude who's 7 feet tall will have an enormous cock. It's size appropriate. I'm almost prepared for that, though the sight of it growing erect still makes my thighs clamp together in trepidation. I'm not prepared for ridges. He's got freaking ridges on his cock, just like the upraised texture along his chest, his brows, and his arms. He's got the bumpy, knotty ridges along the top of his cock. His very big, very thick cock. In addition to those ridges, he has an additional one that almost looks like another horn, except is blunted at the tip instead of sharp. Small miracle, that. So, okay. He's got a textured, huge cock with a bony, protruding knob an inch or so above it. I feel like there's an alien bingo somewhere that just got checked off. Horns? Check. Tail? Check. Crazy ass cock? Check, check, check. And since I'm staring, he's giving me heated look with those glowing blue eyes of his. It's like he's daring me to touch him. And, okay, I'm a little curious about what all that equipment would feel like in a girl, but I'm more interested in bathing than playing hide the sausage. And that was Ice Planet Barbarian by Ruby Dixon. Hi, my name is Erin, and I'm currently reading So I Married a Werewolf by Kristen Strassel.
I'm Sarah One, and I'm reading A Soul to Heal by Opal Rain.
I'm Marie, and I'm reading Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood.
I'm Sarah Two, and I'm reading Barbarian's Mate by Ruby Dixon.
I'm Ivy, and I'm reading Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross.
I'm Kitty, and I'm reading This Better End by Write About Me and The Wolf Underneath by N.M. Lambert. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of Feral Friday Podcast, Unhinged and Unbothered, a podcast where we talk about smut.
The perfect passage.
And that's how you do a proper penis for a 7-foot being.
I will just say that I'm really glad that I, too, am not the only illiterate reader of books. Book enjoyer, if you will.
Robyn coming in hot.
Just an observation. Just an observation that I noticed. That's all. It's fine.
I read every one of my books out loud to my cats. That's an actual fact.
I also can't read, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're hearing something a little different or a mysterious other voice, we
You mean the best
actually
part
have...
of the podcast, and I will be invited back every week.
We have our first guest ever. It's Robyn, the great and powerful Supreme, who is really the reason, I would dare say it's her fault that this podcast
Many
exists.
saying this. Many saying this. Listen, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be the mother of this in many ways. Really, I invented smut. And I think that that's important for many people to recognize about me as a human and individual. It's really hard to just bear this burden, but someone has to do it.
so happy that you could be here tonight to talk to us
I'm very happy too.
all things 7 foot tall blue aliens.
I even
and
brought
beyond.
my bisexual amount of drinks. So
Awesome.
I'm here
I only have
vibing.
one left.
What's it like to be straight? Out of
No.
curiosity.
No.
I actually can have
other
more
than-
drinks like so quickly, but I figured I didn't want to be sipping on sodas because my microphone is quite sensitive.
Oh, that's
Otherwise,
okay.
I
We
would have
kind
a
of
third
let
drink.
all of it rip.
Sarah
We let
handles
all
our
of the
editing,
noises.
and
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I don't know about you
But
guys, but
it's
I'm
a
a very
pleasure.
burpy gal. So.
You know, Aaron.
So is Aaron.
Oh man. Other than being the mother of the podcast, Robyn can also be found everywhere at A Tired Witch.
Everywhere,
Everywhere
except for
and
Twitter, but who fucking cares about that platform?
it doesn't exist. If
I
there's any
literally
numbers,
just
any other
deactivated
weird
my account.
writings, that's not really Robyn, but Robyn is one half of the Coffee and Cauldron podcast, in which our pod met in the Smut Heathens book club. That is
We
the
are
book
the
club
spin-off.
that we've referred to so many single
We are.
times.
Yes.
When we've talked about the book club, the book of the month, X, Y, and Z. It's really just a lawless land where Robyn has let us run free.
Basically, HR is not welcome in the Smut Heathen
Not with the amount
Club.
of dick jokes.
Listen.
HR is scared of the Smut Heathen Club.
HR is
Let's be
too
honest.
busy living her life, reading bad fairy books. So I love her very much, Maria. I know I'm going to make you listen to this. I love you very much, but you're just not built like this. You know what I mean? Some of us are just built different. And I had to give you guys a place. Really,
We
I just
appreciate it.
We
so
do.
much.
We appreciate
really,
it.
I just needed to have constant reinforcement that I am correct in all of my decisions. And that is why it exists.
I was gonna say, do you feel like that has been accomplished in that thread?
I'm not trying to say that I have made my own personal echo chamber, but it does feel correct in most ways. So, yeah. Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Well, great.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. So the reason why Robyn is here is to talk about one of the greatest work of literature known to man.
Yes.
It surpasses
Yes.
everything you think you've read
Mhm.
because Oxford told you to read it.
Mhm.
It is the Ice
Of
Planet
Mice and Men
Barbarians
Who?
series.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The Catcher in the
Vessel
What?
Who?
Yeah. So,
You're a catcher in my ride.
We've mentioned it on almost every single episode, but we are here to
Yes.
finally actually do the Ice Planet Barbarians
Woo!
episode by
Yes.
Ruby Dixon.
yes.
She's a queen, still hyperventilating over her having liked our stupid reel about it.
It's not stupid, okay? It's
It's-
valid, it's amazing, and it's
Real.
once again promoting the echo chamber. Every single time something like this occurs, I grow stronger. And I feel that's important.
I love
It
this. We
is.
can be your first generals.
Exactly.
In this war.
Ooh, I like that. That makes me feel special.
What makes me sick is knowing that the only reason you know what a first general is because you've read the Akatar series, and that makes me physically ill. So,
We don't know what you're talking about.
yes, you do.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh man.
Oh. Well, we're gonna
so
get
before-
started. Yeah, with our interview. We're all gonna ask you one question,
Oh, goody.
and then we'll get into the fun stuff after that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So just to start right off the top, there's no oopsie corner from actually no, I'm full of shit. So we'll start the oopsie corner there.
For sure.
Oopsie corner last week, my computer did not work.
Hmm.
So if you heard weird audio on the last episode, that was entirely my fault, and I won't own it. That's the only oopsie corner I can think of. We try to think of one because we own our mistakes. But my first question is, Robyn, what are you currently reading?
Oh my god, I'm reading the Akatar series because you guys are disgusting dirtbags who have forced my hand against my will to read this series that I knew I was going to hate. I was like,
you stop that right now.
I was optimistic, but just like Iron Throne or whatever the fuck that book is called, did I or did I not say this book series is too popular. There's no way it's good.
Maybe
Did I
I'll
not
let
say
you.
that?
You did. You did say that. And then you were very optimistic.
I
that
was
maybe
very
you would like it.
optimistic. And then
Aaron and I kept saying, you're not going to like it. You're going
and
to
then
hate
I
it.
just read Gaslighting the book, and then part 2, Gaslighting into Trauma Bond the book. Like, I am, so I'm on the second one.
How far into the second one are you?
The Court of Mist and Fury. I am almost 50% of the way through the book.
Ooh, okay.
Which this is very slow reading for me. As you guys know, I'm usually a very, very quick reader, but I just had a baby, so that thing is keeping me occupied. So a book that would have taken me a day and a half, I'm on like day 5 right now, so that's
just
frustrating.
Prolonging the joy of reading the series.
It is. I literally picked up my Kindle last night and went, oh.
You're like, oh.
Because, as I said to all of you, there's nothing I hate more than myself, and therefore I will finish the series. So I'm reading that, which is awful, but we are powering through.
Woo.
Maria keeps telling me it's so good, but Maria is on drugs.
Maria doesn't even love ACOTAR. She loves Throne of Glass.
Honestly, at this point in my life, when Maria tells me a fairy porn book to read, I'm just like, oh, another one? Gee whiz, I wonder what happens in this book.
Magic.
All right. So you're not loving ACOTAR.
I am not.
What is your favorite smut genre or trope?
We all know. Nobody listening to this knows this, but I love a dark romance. I like to hate both the female main character and the male main character so much. But I like to hate them because they're so dumb and they are so like contradictory of their own beliefs. I personally think Haunting of Adeline was the perfect example of a book that I wanted both of the main characters dead. But I loved the book. I loved it because once again, there's nobody I hate more than myself. And so having an awful time reading that book or books like that, the Never King series, another one where the main character was insufferable in every single way.
I loved it.
And I loved it. I really did.
Yeah.
I really, really did. Do I wish to have a intimate relationship like that? Absolutely not. Do I enjoy reading other people who get no respect from their sexual partner whatsoever? Just not even one sand grain of respect. Yes, I do. I enjoy that thoroughly. I think that's a 10 out of 10.
You love that.
Yeah. If you put an Omegaverse in front of me, I want to die. Like every single time Smut Club, every time Smut Club picks an Omegaverse, I'm like, I'm skipping that. I shan't be reading this weirdo Hallmark movie.
We'll let you have your
You're allowed to like your awful Hallmark. I'm
Thank
allowed to
you.
like my awful weird. Is it consent?
We're not sure
So you're
yet.
saying it's the Dubcon Queen is your new title.
Yeah. Yeah. It's everything in these books are a question mark. Nobody really knows what's happening or if anyone's really having a nice time. But we do know that everyone's there.
Perfect.
So, did you ever imagine that from that Smut Heathens thread that we would make a podcast?
Absolutely. Because once again,
'Cause we're
I'm
so
the
funny.
mother of all things that are great. So, of course.
Of course.
No, in reality, I did not, but I do love that this has occurred. I love this so much. First of all, listen. I love the Patreon Discord. 12 out of 10. Love them all so much. I love talking about magic. Obviously, we're all talking about it all the time. I love talking about magic books, but it is very fun to have something else. So we've got this core interest, right? That's witchcraft, spirituality, all these things. And then just like the trash can people from that are like, let's read books. Let's read books that no one would ever recommend to their mom.
I want a t-shirt that says trash can people.
I mean, listen.
It's true, though. It's true.
I know Sarah said that the camera is not something that goes live, but just so the listeners are aware, I am wearing a shirt I've been wearing for 3 days. It is covered in breast milk and I stink. And I did not even brush my hair for this. At all.
Me either.
So I'm out here just vibing on a different, just raccoon level. And I feel like that's the energy. That's the energy we needed. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Correct.
We needed to have this little side sect where we can be really serious about something that is really serious, that we all are very serious about, that then is just not that. In any way.
Yeah.
We needed to siphon out the weirdness to a subspace.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
I
You
think
just needed to
really,
just let it
Maria
out.
was so sick of me talking about this shit to her that she was like, do it. She's like, do
She's
it.
like,
Just
thank
make
God.
a subthread. I don't want to be in there. Have a nice time. Please don't get us canceled. And so
and
I
then we give
heard,
ourselves nicknames.
Yeah, so
and
I
then go
heard
running
her.
out into the rest of the Discord.
yeah, I heard her with my ears. I listened. I'm a really good active listener. And so I was like, I'm going to call all these people whores, and I'm going to give them nicknames that do all involve cum. So I was listening with my ears, and I just did exactly what HR asked for.
And we love it.
And we
We
love
do.
it.
We do love it.
We
We're
really
happy
do.
What was I
here.
supposed to do? Huh?
Your hands were
Encourage
tied.
us.
They were.
Literally a gun to my head. There was nothing I could do.
A gun to your head and a gun inside you, right?
That, again, isn't consent?
I mean, we'll see.
Aaron.
What? What? You see the messages
Bri
I
and I are
sent. Why
having
are we
PTSD.
questioning? Why do we
I
question
really
what comes out of my
like-
mouth?
I really like that in, again, a witchcraft serious spirituality Discord, I have had to make a full-blown disclaimer for new people joining, being like, do you see a quirky little... You see a quirky little nickname? Don't fret. They did consent to that.
I laugh every time someone joins and I read that. I laugh every time.
It just don't freak out.
Yeah.
They want that. They want to actually be called the cum dumpster
Yes.
of Avalon.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yes. It is an honor.
Right now, we have a lot of pretty tame nicknames at
Yeah,
the
because
moment.
I let Aaron nickname everybody last time because I just had a baby. You guys are in for it. First of all, this is the iPad month. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm back in action. You
Yeah.
guys are so fucked this month. My
I
nicknames are
didn't
going to
have
be
much to
insane.
pick from. I will say I went through all of the lists.
Yeah.
So last month was we read a lot of Krampus themed, holiday themes. There was a Christmas. There was a single Hanukkah. There was Christmas gingerbread that we read out loud on this pod, which
Awful.
was terrible.
Disgusting.
13 pages of hell. And there was not much to choose from. People are too afraid
It's
to
'cause of
make Christmas
Christmas.
filthy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't have much.
It's
I
like
did what
the Krampus book
I did
that
the
was
best I
like,
could.
just remember, guys, Christmas is
Jesus
the
is
season of
it.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yep.
Bitch,
Nobody
we just
wanted
talked
to
about
run
around.
Krampus dick for fucking 60 pages. Relax. I don't want to be
Nobody wants to run
reminded of
around with a
God.
nickname. Or like cum covered gingerbread.
I
Blank.
wasn't
No
going
one
to.
wants that.
As a name.
I couldn't refer to that one. It was like
No.
making me gag.
Jizzy
I
icing.
tried.
Delicious.
My friend
It-
told
it
me
brings a
she's
whole
catching
new,
up on
like,
all those
meaning to, like,
episodes, and I'm
cookies
like,
and
oh, don't
cream.
listen to that one.
Don't listen to that one, please.
I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Delicioso. Me saying this.
All right, I'm going to take the wheel. I'm steering us back.
Okay.
Here we
Yep.
go.
What?
When was the first time you read IPB?
That's a really good question. It's
Thanks, I didn't come up with it.
I'm pretty sure that it was recommended to me by Temperance in 2020. I think. It was during COVID, I believe. It had got popular on TikTok.
Yeah.
You guys think that I'm a feral, disgusting monster. She is gross. Her books are, ugh. I'm like, girl, are you good? She's mental illness. Love her so much. Anyway, she had recommended it to me, and she was like, you're gonna love this. And I was like, I doubt it. I remember when you made me read the Hotel Garage combo book. That was terrible. That was a book about two people who hate each other, an enemies to lovers trope, if you will.
Yeah.
Whose car broke down, and the mechanic shop was connected to a motel.
Of
And
course.
so the only thing that people could do while their car was being fixed in 8 hours was to have sex, despite the fact that they did not like each other.
I'm
So
not surprised by any of this. This all tracks.
terrible. Truly terrible. It's
What
also,
else do you do when you get an oil change, Robyn?
I mean, I am always getting blown when I'm getting an oil change. Constantly. Are you guys not?
The whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that what full service means?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's the windshield wiper fluid, it's the oil change, the tire pressure, and getting the shit blown
Filter.
out from the back.
Everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's perfect.
but I'm pretty sure it was 2020, and I read
How
like,
many
the
did
first
you get
one.
through?
Well, I've
Like
read
out
all
of the
them.
83. You've read. Oh,
I've
you've
read every
all
single one,
83?
including the novellas.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
Kitty and I are pretty much the best people here.
You know.
Not to brag. Some of us are committed to the bit.
A little.
Uh,
Again, mental illness, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe. Something to do with
I maybe
this.
just went and looked at how long it took me to read the first 18. I started reading them on January 30th, and then the number 18 was like February 16th. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, I had
Right.
a really good time that year.
I
That was a nice start to the year, wasn't it, Erin?
Yeah, it was.
I got bored last August, I think. It was August or September, and I was like, I'm gonna read iPiv again. And I read the first 14 books in the month of August.
Yep.
And I was just like, I think that I'm not well.
Yeah.
There's a chance that I am not doing good.
I mean, last year I read the first IPB in February. I think it was February 15th. And I finished the 83rd book in May. Like,
yeah.
Oh
just.
my gosh.
Yeah.
just
I realized I
no
skipped all the
problem.
novellas. Now I have to go back and read the novellas.
They're
and
really
look
cute.
to see about
They
it.
They're
are.
really, really cute.
They are.
And there's
There's
like really
some-
good
I gotta
charts
just get
that
back.
break down like
Yeah.
the order you
The
should
order.
read them in.
Yeah,
with-
I have that up, and I was just like,
Mhm.
on top of the 100 other things that I said I was going to read,
Yeah, it's
which
no
is
big
my
deal.
own problem.
Can I offer you an ACOTAR series in these trying times?
I already read them. I'm reading a series that
All of them? You read all of them?
I read all the Akatars, all the Throne of Glass,
Crazy.
and all of the.
I've also read
But I
them all.
finished the second book of a series that I said last night. I immediately messaged everyone and I said, if I had read this before I read Akatar, I would have never made it through the second book.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book right now that it's a long big boy series. Each book is like 700 pages long. It's high fantasy with a smattering of smut, not too much, but I am on edge the whole time because it's like the high political intrigue. It's the same as Throne of Glass. Less smut, more gore, if that makes sense.
That sounds great.
There's
That sounds
not
like a
that
good
smut.
book.
Yeah.
There's not that much smut in Throne of Glass, though.
There is
No,
not.
there's not. That's what she's saying.
But yeah,
Compared to
no,
Akatar.
it's
That's why I keep putting off reading the rest of it. I'm like, this is boring.
I mean, there is some. There is some in Throne of Glass, just not very much.
yeah.
But the rest of it makes up for it. Like,
I
it's
don't know.
just-
I'm in Crown of Midnight.
you got to get to Queen of Fire, and then
You gotta get
it
to Queen
all
of Fire.
pops off, and it's like
Yep.
you just
Everyone's getting
you
fucked.
just have to buckle
It's a
up.
lot of
Everyone.
investment.
Marie's
I know.
me. Marie's like, I'm bored now, so when does the cum start?
It starts in Queen of Fire, okay? Okay.
If you could only pick one, what is your favorite Ice Planet
Out of
Barbarians
83.
book?
It's really hard. You know, the first book I feel like is such a really good foundation, but is nothing like
Yep.
the rest of the series. And so as a standalone book, I feel like if I wasn't taking into context the rest of the entire series, I would say the first book. But if we're taking into context the entire rest of the series, I thought about this a lot because Sarah sent me these questions beforehand, which I appreciate because I was able to sit on this stuff for a minute. And I actually think that my favorite is Barbarian's Hope, despite the fact that Barbarian's Hope was very triggering for me. in that book they talk a lot about child loss and like having a baby and after it and kind of the trauma that goes with that. But it was the only one of the entire book that elicited a very like raw reaction out of me that I thought about it for weeks. Weeks after the fact. And it triggered me, but it also was so real. You know what I mean? Where it made me think that maybe Ruby has experienced this in her own life. Because I am somebody who has had a lot of history of miscarriage. And so it was so genuine, you know what I mean? That I was like, oh wow, this series actually has meat to it. It's not just blue dick.
Which shocked me.
That's
I'm coming brand new into this.
Yep, it's Asha and Hamalo, and it's book number 10. If anyone's looking for now a target to make it through to. While a lot of these books are mostly they can be standalone, they are, I think, are best enjoyed in order. You can pick up one.
I agree.
Yes,
but I do think you can read them on their own. But if you are going to read them on their own, I would recommend reading a quick synopsis of what has happened like up to this point. Because let's be honest, the majority of the book is like his massive member sheathed, or like or like I kissed him and it was
my
an orgasm.
cootie was
like,
rattling.
Right,
It was
eating. Yeah. That is like 60 to 70% of these books, so you can read YOLO. But I do think that if you just read a quick synopsis up until
she
that point,
puts a pretty good synopsis in the beginning.
Like
of
you
each
could do
book.
that if you want to read books on their own.
Yeah,
she does. Yeah, but that also doesn't start until like book 4.
But it's like the same synopsis
3,
every time once she starts doing it.
Yes, yeah.
And we definitely grew with Ruby as Ruby started writing because later in the series, Ruby started to include a very lengthy, well thought out trigger warning for each book. And she did go back and write them for the earlier books, but you could see the wheels turning in Ruby's head as she was writing each of these books, that this was something bigger. Yes.
And I think that's good. I think it shows growth as an author as well, especially when we're talking about like a self-published author. I don't think that there is oftentimes found a lot of personal writing growth. And like, I mean, that is what it is. You don't have like, as an author myself, you don't have the soundboard of an editor and peer review, etc. And so beta readers, all that. And like, I would assume Ruby now is big enough that she can have those things. But especially early on when you're self-published, or if you are a self-published author who doesn't get the traction that Ruby got, you're never going to have that.
And I think
soundboard.
it's interesting. Ice Planet Barbarians, the first one, if I'm not mistaken, was published in 2016. And so she didn't really, she blew up on TikTok in 2020. So that was 4 years later. And now, I mean, Ice Planet Barbarians, if you include all of the novellas over the course of all the different series, there's 83 books in that series right now since 2016.
And she has 141 current works right now.
Yeah, like
that's wild.
She has other series that have nothing to do with Ice Planet Barbarians. So she's, and you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can tell that she's grown so much as a writer, especially when you get into the later stuff. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And I do love too that she, in the IPB series, she does seem to like develop the other characters along the way. Like she doesn't like abandon her characters. So like you see Georgie change, you see like
I'm just thinking of like I wish she would abandon
you see them change, they still develop.
Yeah, we can forget about Georgie. That's fine.
From like the first book to her honeymoon, she changes.
Yeah.
Like you see development there.
No, I totally agree.
Her tone changes.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I love Ruby.
Yeah.
I love you, Ruby.
Yeah, me too.
No, I know.
But I don't love Georgie.
No.
Georgie can go become a Georgie popsicle
HOA
somewhere.
mom.
Everything just goes to her head.
Georgie went from this situation where she's like, I have to do the best with the garbage I've been given, and really was resilient and great. I mean, we talk about that first book, all things considered, Georgie was a hero. And then Georgie comes back and was like, I was the hero and now I'm your mom. Only I'm the mom that you probably
It's the
should be no
mother-in-law you hate.
contact with. But we're
Also,
stuck in a
we're
tribe
all the
together
same
on an ice
age
planet.
with
So
similar life experience. So literally.
literally, but
Right.
I'm the one fucking the chief. So
And it's such a burden.
Yeah.
the most annoying.
This is foisted upon me.
Yeah,
I could
it's
get.
so hard to be me. So annoying. I've literally. Oh my God. If she could just die, that would be great. I'm so sick of Georgie. Every time she comes up, especially in the I'm just like, oh, shut up.
I know, it's just kind of like an eye roll moment, like, oh my God, Georgie,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Oh, here comes
Right?
Georgie.
Okay,
He's
I
going
will
to be
say,
judgmental.
It makes you. Georgie grew into a character that makes the other characters better though because she's so annoying. Like
Yeah.
because she grows into that, it makes you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a.
No, 1000%.
Although we love to hate Georgie, it's good that Georgie's there because every group needs a Georgie. Every story needs a Georgie.
Yeah. 1000%. I just was bummed because I really liked Georgie
Rereading
so
her
much
the
in the
first
first
book,
book.
Georgie was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my
She's like this badass. She was funny. She's independent. She is like fully almost a survivalist and just so smart and hilarious and witty. And then you're just like, oh,
Yes.
you got with a man.
Yeah, she almost became like matronly.
And now you're
Yeah.
the head of the HOA. Georgie literally got eaten out in that cave, and she was like, I will be a tribe
Pretty
wife. This is
Pretty
what I
much.
wanted.
Okay,
thank
so
you.
we're gonna start with an fuck, marry, kill. And this
Georgie.
one, I'm just gonna do
Love that.
for the series. So if people don't know, like within Ice Planet Barbarian, there are really 6 unique series of books, but they're all interconnected. So we're just gonna do fuck, marry, kill for some series, and then we're gonna get into more just general stuff, and then we'll do some more.
Specific.
Yeah, we'll do some more fuck, marry, kills at the end. So for this one, Robyn, fuck, marry, kill, you have Ice Planet Barbarians, the original group, plus the extras.
Okay.
You know what that means.
Yep.
Corsairs, the original Corsairs, so the pirate, them. Okay.
Yep.
And Rizdiverse. Fuck, marry, kill. Those 3.
I'm picking fuck, marry, kill for each of these series. Or
No, like
individuals
just
within
the
them?
series
series
itself.
overall.
Like, would you fuck
Would you fuck
Rizdiverse?
What would you do? Which one are you gonna kill off?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so hard. I would say fuck. Oh, this is so difficult. I feel like Corsairs. I'm gonna marry.
Oh, you're gonna marry
Okay.
Corsairs. Okay.
I think that would be my pick because
Okay.
I think that's the last thing I read was Corsairs.
And I also feel like most of the crew were likable, like almost more like
Okay.
human. They're more human. Okay,
Okay.
the like
Yeah.
the interactions feel more like something that I would probably have in real life.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kill the original crew. I can elaborate if you'd like me to,
Yes.
and it's not just because of Georgie.
On the IPV episode?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, so when Sarah initially gave me this list of questions, it just said fuck, marry, kill. So I assumed that I had to tell you which of the alien men I would fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
And so I really thought about this. I'm taking your podcast
Okay.
seriously.
Thank you.
And I really thought about this, and I was reviewing who I was most likely to dislike, and all of the couples I disliked the most were from the original Ice Planet Barbarian
Okay.
series.
Okay.
Okay.
I have really strong opinions about Harlow, for example.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really like Liz.
Yep.
Liz is the best. Love her.
But like I don't really like Kira either.
Poor
Like
Kira. Nobody likes
But that
Kira.
just said fucking poor
I know.
Kira. Shut up. Like, shut up, Kira. Okay, poor Kira. We get it. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is that on a baseline level, every character in this book I empathize with. Every single one to some degree. But just because I empathize with you does not mean you're not annoying.
Okay.
I can empathize with your story and also find you insufferable.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's not illegal.
Nope.
So yeah, then that leaves fucking
Riz-diverse.
Riz.
Which there's a lot of options
I think that's
in there to fuck.
That's a
so
good.
That was a good choice.
You have every flavor there.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna do the other three: Fuck, Marry, Kill, Ice Home, Corsair Brothers, and Ice Planet Clones, which only has 2 books.
Ugh. You're so
I know.
annoying. I'm gonna marry Ice Home.
Okay.
I feel like Ice Home was, I don't know, kind of sweet. If I'm gonna marry someone, it needs to be kind of sweet. We're gonna kill the last one, just because there's not that much.
Yeah.
It's 2 books. It's not that much. So that obviously leaves Corsair Brothers as my fuck.
I mean, that's also a very good choice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yes. Perfect. So now I want to hear who your picks were when you were preparing.
My fuck, marry,
Yes.
kill.
Yeah.
So I really thought
Okay, I'm
about
so
this.
excited.
Okay.
So excited.
I had the Ice Planet Barbarian wiki up just so that way I could make sure that I wasn't misremembering people's plot lines about whether or not I liked them or not. I have notes.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh, I'm so excited.
I said I was taking this seriously. So my fuck was Marduk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My reason for fucking Marduk is, first of all, let's talk about that metal thing that he's got going on.
I mean,
want to know more about
yeah.
that. Need to know more about that. Also, for those of you who have seen my husband, I feel like Marduk is going to be the most likely to look like him. Just a trash bag.
Probably.
Just a trash bag. Love that. I do fundamentally have issues with Marduk. Mostly because Farley is written like a fucking child in that book, despite being a grown woman, and he's still like, oh, "What's up, baby?" But I also feel like Marduk is going to be the most likely to be into weird shit, and so I'm willing to try things out with Marduk. I'm just fucking him,
You're
right?
just fucking him.
You're
It's
just fucking
good.
him.
It's fine.
It's cash.
Yeah.
My kill was Rook, and I feel like that should be very obvious as to why. First of all, I hate Harlow. Harlow makes me so mad.
Okay.
Harlow I hate more than Georgie, and let me explain why.
Okay.
Harlow was dying while pregnant, okay? It was just like, fuck it, I'm on a beach. What's the worst that could happen?
I mean,
And as a mother myself, and anybody else who's had kids in here can probably relate, when you're pregnant and there's anything weird that happens, you're like, your brain as a mom is fully like, I need to get this double checked.
Correct.
What if I'm killing the baby? I haven't felt the baby move in 20 seconds. Maybe they're dead.
Let me Google
And
it.
It's full blown like hormones. And like when I had my first kid, I thought maybe that was like some PTSD trauma. Turns out after the second one, that's just your brain on baby. And so knowing that fact and what she was up against was the fact that the tribe might be mad at her.
Yeah.
And she was just like,
agreed.
Gonna stay here and risk it. And then simultaneously, while I understand Rook was not socialized, how as a person, it like of any person's nature that your partner is visibly dying in front of you and you're like, well, she says she's fine.
Must be fine.
Take her word for
Everything's
it.
fine.
She said she's fine. I know she literally has lost 100 pounds or whatever while she's pregnant, and she weighed 105 to begin with. And at the age of 21, she's probably fine. She says she's fine. And that like fundamentally really bothered me. And like it really bothered me. And I, from both ends of the spectrum, I'm just like, how are either of you like sleeping at night? How do you sleep at night with yourself? Like how during the whole pregnancy are you just like, I'm actually a good person for this. Want them dead. If they were to both be sucked up by the baseball head aliens, I'd be like,
By the bird ones. It's fine. Okay, so who are you marrying then?
So my Mary is Herrick.
Yes!
Oh,
Easily
okay.
Herrick.
Which he and Kate are a thing, right? He and Kate are mates. Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah, that's great.
I love Herrick.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that he like genuinely was just so into her, and like are their issues early on was because she had self-confidence issues and was like, oh, he's making fun of me. Meanwhile, he's like, what's up, thick and curvy giant woman? Hello, Amazon babe. And I'm like, love your sense of humor, babe. 10 out of 10. I could deal with that every single day. And the fact that like even when he was trapped in the crack in the glacier, he's still cracking jokes.
Yep.
I'm like, this is the guy, man.
Yeah, definitely.
He spends that
So
almost that
100%
entire
Herrick.
time where I think she at one point she asked him to be like, hey, can you be serious? He's like, I can't with the way your titties look right now. Like I literally can't I can't understand him dying because your ass looks so good.
Literally, that is how I want to be talked to every day.
Yeah, that's great.
I want to crash our car and my husband to be like, listen, I would be mad, but your ass is banging. That's what I want.
Frank, take
Like that's all I
notes.
want. And so 100% marrying Herrick because I could literally do nothing wrong in that man's life. And that sounds great.
Okay, so because of your answers for that, I'm gonna pull one up from later to have you do.
Okay.
So this is Fuck, Marry, Kill the Real Barbarians. So your options are Rook, or Rook, however you say his name. Victor /
Who cares?
Krulden. Okay.
Okay.
So it can be whichever one you prefer to think about, Victor or Krulden.
I feel like Ivy should be answering this question.
Well, Ivy hasn't gotten there yet. Okay, the third one is Juice. So
I'm not there yet.
it's okay.
I've been a
We'll
little
forgive you
stagnated.
this
It's
time.
not like you're
I'm getting
moving your
caught up. I'll
entire
get there.
home right now or anything like
You
that.
know.
Like
I mean,
Yeah. So
Yep.
Robyn doesn't know that I didn't have my Kindle for like 2 weeks because I packed it thinking we were gonna be moved in, and then
Story
we
of
weren't.
my
So
life.
I actually
Literally story
just
of my
got
life
back this week,
with
so I can
moving.
finally get caught up.
Everything gets packed up and then it comes back in here and then it gets packed up.
Yeah.
I couldn't find these headphones for tonight. I was like, where are those? And Frank's like, they're in a suitcase. I'm like, why wouldn't they be? Sure.
Of course. Of course.
Anyway, repeat
Okay.
who I'm picking from
So
again.
you're picking from the Real Barbarians of the series. Rook,
Okay.
Victor / Krulden, and Juth, who's the guy from the island. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the he has the short tail.
little tail
Yeah,
boy.
the little- or I guess his
Little
son
baby
has the
tail.
little baby tail, but
Little
know,
baby tail
know.
man.
yeah.
You don't even have a real tail, little baby tail boy. Sorry, that was not appropriate. Short kings, am I right?
I don't know. They really value no tails over a not Hoth, so I don't know what to
I
say.
mean-
Thank you.
No tail. All right, we're going doggy style
am I
tonight and every
right?
night going forth.
Yes, this is all I think about. So we got Little Shorty, we got Rook, who I want dead, so I will repeat that. Listen, it doesn't matter to me what anybody else has done in this series. Rook deserves prison punishment, death forever.
So are you marrying
Hate
Juth
him.
or Victor / Krulden? Whichever version of him you want.
This is hard. I like any of them.
That's the
I'm
point.
hearing a pity marriage.
That's the point.
coming.
They're the actual barbarians.
They're like literally the most annoying people on the planet.
I
I'm
have no
abandoned.
family.
Learn to
I saw
raise
my
myself.
parents get
Shut
killed
up.
in front of me. Wah.
Okay, a giant bird ate everybody. Listen, I have read this book and I know you guys are 3 inches too tall to be eaten. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Victor to marry.
So you're gonna fuck Juth.
Yeah.
I don't look too happy about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, good job. Those were all of our brief guest interview questions.
Thank Yeah.
So
Yeah. I have a
So brief.
yeah.
So brief.
So brief.
Now, I do have a question. What is collectively the group? So now everyone's read at least book 1, correct? We've all at least gotten to the
Yes.
first one. What is your favorite alien bodily feature? What is the thing that you didn't realize that you needed? Sarah looks so
Spur.
excited.
I'm so excited. Spur.
Okay, spur.
There's no other answer.
See, no, I have questions about the spur. We can't all just say spur because I have read many an infographic on this
I gotta
because
find
I've
a
had
picture.
I need to
questions
know if
for
it's
a
a
long
pinky or if it's a
time.
thumb.
I have
Which is it?
pictures.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's a thumb.
I see when I think spur,
Okay.
when I think spur in my head, okay, I think like
The rabbit.
you guys okay. This is sick.
I'm wondering
This
if
is
it's the
first
same
thing that
thought
came
I
to my brain. But have you guys ever seen those people who have the tongues
No,
that
that's
come out
not
of
where I was
arms
going.
and they like file down?
Holy shit,
It's a
that's not where I thought that
thing.
was
Why do you
going.
have to bring feet into it?
Well, because I don't know where else. I don't know where else I would see something like this. I mean, okay, so like a horn that's been like filed down, but like the
No,
size
what
of
I
like the
think
width of a
is-
pinky.
Do you know like
That's
the
what I think
rabbit
of.
vibrator?
That, exactly.
And it's
that.
got the extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little.
But then when you think
But I
about
think that's
like
too
okay, but
thick.
then when you think about like just. So I need you to picture
Are we
with me.
picturing
Mind
Come on, we're going on a
Palace.
journey, everyone. I need you to picture with me, Marduk, which I know some of you are not that far, which is fine. But there's these aliens. That is the planet that they're originally from. That is when the pirates come in and we learn about basically where they probably came from, etc., etc. And in that series, that like section of the series, they're like regular people. They wear pants, they wear shirts, like all that. So picture with me what a rabbit vibrator looks like. It is rigid and hard, like an erect penis, that then has a rigid and hard piece. How would one, if the penis is flaccid and you have a vibrator part out, you're just walking around with a tiny little erection at all times?
No,
It
because
doesn't make
they wouldn't
I
sense.
read in
Extension.
one of the books that the spur also.
Deflates?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets excited.
I
I
haven't
don't
gotten
remember
there.
that. That so you
But
might
here's
be
just
you
where I
might
get
be
excited, and I
onto
made a note
something
about
there.
this because forget vibrating cock rings. What about a vibrating spur ring?
Oh, that would be
Does
interesting.
Oh,
does the
that would be
cootie
interesting.
vibrate that low though? Because I thought it was the resonance was in the chest.
Oh, it is.
No, but I'm
Sarah's-
talking about for the spur.
Yeah,
Well, it
Sarah's
is, but if
talking
you were to
about
get
it
like a
in real life.
separate piece,
Oh,
Spur.
we're talking about accessories.
Yeah.
We're accessorizing
Mhm.
the spur now.
like a sex
Okay.
toy.
So you don't have to put it on the cock. You put it on the spur. It's
Because-
not
Why not both?
because they talk about the spur like going
You're getting
through
a
the
full
slit.
body. Yeah,
Just at
because
all
this
times.
makes sense to what I
It doesn't
thought
make
it originally.
sense.
Like I
We're
thought
wearing
about
heavy,
it.
like leather. It's fine.
I thought it looked like a
doesn't-
set. All right, I don't know if anyone's ever ridden a horse or been around horse girls or horse people.
Aaron is
I
about to
am
tell
not
her
a horse
backstory
girl.
of
My
being
mother
a
was,
horse
so it's
girl.
passed down trauma.
You sure you're not, babe?
It looks like
Sure
a
you're
saddle
not.
horn. That's what I thought it looked like. So it's a very
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I think it
So
looks like a
that's kinda what I
saddle
was
horn,
thinking too,
which
but
is
small.
like a very specific kind of saddle that has a protruding thing on the top.
It's like this.
But
I
was
thought it
skinnier
always-
than that.
It's a Western saddle. I
It's a
think.
Western
Sorry.
saddle. Okay, I also grew up with a mother who's a horse
I did
girl
not go through
who
horse
put me in
metal-
horse
lessons.
lessons for 6 months. For 6 months, and I was removed from horse lessons because I did not give a shit, and apparently that's dangerous.
Yep.
Um,
Yep, but that was
The
my
more you know.
reference.
I
I thought it
know.
looked like a saddle horn. Like that's how like it was broader because
See,
the question about the thumb and the
Like,
and the
I'm gonna
finger too is
show you
because
guys what
I
I'm
think
thinking
we've
of.
all gotten to maybe we have all gotten to a book where there is some backdoor entrance where the spur
It's in
does
the
a
first
little
book.
pokey
Uh-huh.
hello, how
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
you today?
But it doesn't go all the way in.
Yeah.
It just kind of like tickles.
This is a smut podcast. Do we not
We say
anal
anal, but
on
we
this
don't talk
podcast?
about poo poo pee pee.
Why are we
That's like one
dancing
of our
around it?
one rules. We don't talk about poo poo pee pee. That's it.
That's fair.
Wait,
No,
no,
I
did
think
someone
they
say I
don't,
had to
like,
say pee pee
fully
poo poo
put it in.
instead?
But
Either one's correct.
Oh no. I've done a mischief.
I've always
okay,
I have
I've been
Googled
looking for
exactly
a
what I'm
picture.
trying to
oh
show you
no,
guys
not
about the
the
feet.
I don't know if I want to see the feet picture.
Oh God.
Don't worry, I won't be showing you because this
Oh,
is fungal
no.
infections, and this is
that
not what I'm
falls
trying to
in
show
line
you.
with the poop.
Oh,
I'm not trying to show you that.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I
I'm not
always
trying to
thought
show you
more of
that.
like a little bullet vibrator,
Because that would make sense too.
and then like just like slightly blunt at the front, you know.
Kitty, where did you get that
Well,
image?
I'm trying to find a better image because Sammy and
It's
Kay
tiny.
are the ones that got me into. I know it's so
It
tiny.
needs to be bigger.
I'm trying to find the original. I'm sorry. There's a lot
Make it
to
bigger, Kitty.
scroll through. I'm sorry.
I think this was in the smut
I
heathen thread.
scared Sammy away from the smut group because I made fun of Sammy's workbook
Sammy,
immediately,
we
and I
love
regret
you.
nothing.
That was going to be
That
my
was a terrible
2023
book.
best read.
I'm sorry, Sammy. I do really care about you.
I read all of
That
them.
was an awful book.
I did, and I love them all.
They
No,
were
you
going to be her
didn't.
favorite books of last year, Robyn.
Oh, why?
They were going to until, yeah, I do.
Mental illness.
Yes,
runs
until I
deep
read
in this
one
podcast.
one duology, whatever, that overnight, and it like literally made me change my mind the day before recording.
Okay. So this is what I'm thinking of. Okay, I need us to picture it on a small scale,
Oh my
but
god!
like a rhino horn that has been that has been like blunted. That's what I pictured in my brain, where it was like they had horns
my
on the
God.
top of their fucking head, and you guys are sat here going, a horn on his penis, on his spur. His ridged cock could have a horn
it's
like the one on his
flexible,
head.
though.
You guys are gaslighting me.
Are we?
Oh, hon, I found a link to the actual image you're trying to share.
But it could be like,
Yeah.
you know when horses have
Yeah.
fairy feet? Do you guys know
It
about
could.
that? It could be like that, where it's soft. But it like visually looks like that. Like it's a little something where it can tickle the
This
butt
looks
without
like
going all the way
fingers, though.
in.
The image I just shared.
Because that's how it's mentioned, right?
Right.
It's not mentioned
Right.
as full blown DP, which is not meant Dr. Pepper. It is mentioned as like a little butt tickle. I
Are
thought
you
it
sure?
meant Dr. Pepper for so long, Ivy, and I was really embarrassed when my boyfriend at the age of 22 was
Yeah.
like, "You did not just ask that waiter for DP."
Yes.
That's when I learned what double penetration porn was. I was a George Bush child left behind. Leave me alone.
It's fine.
It all comes back to
Yeah, I
George
think
Bush.
they look like fingers. The image I just shared. I don't know if this was from Reddit. If anyone needs to like, also, we're not gonna be sharing this on Instagram because we want to keep our Instagram. If you search for Ice Planet Barbarian penis, and there is going to be a Reddit. You must be 18 years or older. I am so sorry for everyone who's 17 and a half.
We'll
What
If
are
you're
you
not
doing?
18
You're trying to
years
get ahead
older,
in line.
why are you listening to this podcast?
we'll
Yeah, see, I think
Yep.
that's too long. I
It's gonna
really think
hurt.
it's too long. I've seen that image before. It doesn't make sense because if the
Mhm.
penis is as big as they say the penis is, and you compare the size of that little spur to it, that isn't a butt tickle. That is a full blown anal penetration.
No,
It
I
is.
agree.
It's a full.
I mean, am I
yeah.
wrong?
You're not. But that was how I was imagining
Yeah.
it.
A nublet.
I'm thinking like a little nublet.
A
A
nublet.
little something to be like, oop, there's your butthole.
Full-blown.
But not enough to be like, get out of there. That's for going out, not coming in, buddy.
Holy shit.
Yes. I'm-
Listen, you guys are running a smut podcast and you invited me
I
on
know.
here and you expected this to
never.
what?
We would
No.
never
Be
expect
normal?
that.
once.
No.
My only concern with this is lube.
As
As far as like,
So much,
I just-
especially after they've had babies.
if
You're breastfeeding. Where's your
I'm assuming I'm gonna make
juice?
the ass out of me that it has to do with the cootie. It has to be
Mm.
that little living worm in your neck that is making your body.
It's really in your
like,
heart.
Yeah.
It goes into your heart.
It's highly optimized to fuck every single day. That is what that little cootie is for. I think you're optimized at that point.
I mean, that is true. But if you're not like fertile, because that's when optimization, not to get scientific here, but the female vagina is the most lubricated when ovulating. There's different types of mucus that comes out of one's vagina. And when you are ovulating, you have something called egg white cervical mucus that comes out of you, which is the optimal for having sex.
Love it.
I believe
Love
that's
it.
what the
Guys,
scientific
grow up.
term. The
Anyway.
scientific term is called slick.
Thank you. Thank you very
your
much.
slick.
It is compared to egg whites. It is some scientific terms might be
essence.
nectar.
Honey? Honey?
The essence, the honey. Yes, absolutely,
Snot.
absolutely. And
Super
so, if you the cootie
Yes.
makes it so you're only ovulating when they're like it's time to have a baby, then do you
So
just,
even if
what
you're
is
not
the-
ovulating,
I'm
does
just
the cootie
curious
not
as
also
to
recognize another cootie and say that is the one dick for you the rest of your life? So you have to it decides you're the perfect
Terrible.
partner for that other cootie.
it's giving purist culture
But
in
aren't
some
there-
ways. Let's be honest.
There's bed
like,
mates.
affairs happening.
They're unmated.
There are, but at the same time, how they're so like okay.
Yeah.
When the first
Spoiler.
girls
Spoiler.
arrive on
There's
the planet,
there's more
there's
girls
a little.
coming.
I've read this
Don't
book
worry.
too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the
First
first
shipment.
So
ship of
aliens are really
girls
bad at
show
flying
up.
their ships. is what you're saying.
No.
Sex trafficking.
Yeah.
No, so I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but there is apparently a lot of sex trafficking, and apparently a planet that has not been touched in 5 million years or something. Suddenly now they are all crashing on this planet at the same time. So I don't know if the magnets of the planet decided to mess up all of their coordinates, but it's a situation.
Someone should look into
Anyway,
that.
This is the most scientific episode we've ever had.
Someone call
honestly,
NASA.
they really need to talk to the head of sex trafficking and get this sorted. Anyway, so when the first girls arrive, and you have the men, the original men as well, that we are introduced to, really only like 2 of them have taken bedmates.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember there's 3 women. And the majority, all but 1 woman, is like their mom. So, yes, it does happen, and it did happen
Claire.
early on. What's her name?
Yeah,
Claire?
it did
Was
not
it
go
Claire?
well.
Yeah.
That
and
Beck
then
was
Beck
fucking?
somebody else.
Right. And so, it does happen, but you have to also remember that up
The only
until
other
this
person
point,
was
it really didn't
Asha,
happen much.
who decided that, trauma,
Mhm.
a lot of trauma.
Yeah,
kinda.
there's a lot that went along with
And then
Asha.
she did sleep with other people.
Yeah, but also Asha, a lot of
Well,
her
that's
bed mating
true.
was before
That's
she
true.
was mated.
A lot of it was.
I will say
Yeah.
She was the only single
that's
gal in
true.
the tribe.
That's
Why
true.
shouldn't she be getting
It is her
everybody's
right.
dick that wants her? As is her right. She's in a cave and she wants everyone to hear her
The
fucking.
only other situation, which it's
So-
not an affair, but there is a set of the parents, like some of the main characters' parents, who are in a kind of on again, off again threesome thing, triad thing. It becomes more prevalent. A throuple.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It becomes more prevalent as everything goes on, but that's the only other
So-
real that situation.
the one thing I think that I do miss, but I think it's I very much I love an M&M kind of trope, or that happening in a book. There is none of that. You never ever see in the main home planet. You don't see any 2 men really fall in love or have resonance with each other in the first set of books. And I wasn't
Listen,
thinking about that until I recently was reading a different workbook by Finley Fenn. I sure do, but it was very similar where there was a resonance situation, But amongst this, obviously they all lived in a mountain. They all very much, like, there were two men who, like, were in a residence situation, and it was fine, and it was cool to take bedmates, and, like, they celebrated sex across. Granted, the whole place is practically an orgy, but I'm surprised that never took place in IPB.
Can I be a Ruby hater for just a moment? And I would like to preface this by saying I do love Ruby Dixon a lot, but this is a problem I have with Ice Planet in general, which is that it is giving purity culture, especially the first set of girls, okay? And then because also, like, you think about Claire and Beck, they were low-key shamed for it. There was that whole section where,
Kira.
was it Tina?
Oh,
or
it was
Kira,
yeah.
Early on. Kira, thank you. Was, like, being really judgmental about it, and, like, it was like a whole thing. So there's that. But then my biggest problem, and we've talked about this in Smut several times, is that Ruby acts like kissing is this, it is giving virgin, it is giving I've never had sex. And you know what? No shame if you've never had sex, but I've had some pretty good makeout sessions, and I'm not like, oh my god, that was the greatest orgasm of my life. Like, girl, relax. It was a kiss. And so that I have this.
Yeah.
It's giving Stephanie Meyer in Twilight.
It is. And, like, I really love Ruby Dixon's work. I like when they do get to sex, the conversations around consent. I like the fact that the woman is worshipped, as is, a woman's right. I like all those things about her to the point that it trumps my issues with it. But it is very much so giving I've never had sex in my life, and the only relationship I have with sex is having read about it in a book. And that book
It
was
isn't
fun.
really, I think how she originally wrote the whole symbiont Quee thing is kind of what set her up for this problem. Why are you laughing?
What did you just say?
1,000%.
The key. I don't know how to say it. The Quee.
I heard
That's how you say
queefing.
it.
I said Quee thing. Quing.
Nope, I heard symbiote queefing, and I'm like, say what? What did I miss? Did I speed read past
Yeah,
this?
you did. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thanks.
Symbiote queefing.
We'll just bring it back.
That was actually the forbidden chapter that only 2 people get, and it's really sad to hear that.
Anyway,
get
because
it.
she set up the
Yikes.
cootie to work in this way that only a heterosexual couple can propagate. Propagate? That's not the word. Procreate.
Are they?
Yikes.
Are they plants?
That was a
Thank
choice
you.
of
The words are just
phrasing.
coming. We're plants now. Yes. Procreate, make new life. Like, I think that really limited her to her queer exploration.
Yeah, but I also feel like there was opportunity. Like, we have the threesome way later on. There is opportunity where, while the cootie might not say that we can make a baby, right? That doesn't mean that people can't still explore things and try things out, and it might not be, this perfect
and I think
biological match.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they couldn't
I think
have
we like
explored
end up
each
seeing
other's
that though
buttholes.
when as the same going back to Ruby, us growing with Ruby as Ruby's writing. When we leave Ice Planet Barbarians.
She has written
that
because she has written now
comes into play,
one sapphic story, a Rizdiverse story, and then Bethia's book. Robyn
Bethia's
gives the
book
thumbs
is
down
just
for that. And then Bethia's book is one of my favorites, and yes, 2 girls and a guy.
Yeah. I do feel like it could have been worked into Ice Planet Barbarian, and I think that when we look at her other works, you definitely see that it's not out of her wheelhouse to have at least tried it. And she could have tried it in here, and maybe she still will. There's
still room. The fact that there was room to grow and we saw it, Ruby still has room to grow. There's no cap.
Yeah,
totally.
Is that a kids thing? Is that what kids say now? Is that something different now?
I mean, that's not what that means when you
cap.
say it.
Asking the wrong
I'm like,
person.
wait, is that something kids say? I'm like, there's
Hello,
That's what I just
fellow
felt like.
youths.
There's no ceiling to
Yeah.
where Ruby can grow. I can't say no cap.
Yeah,
That's
there's
just a
no
normal way
cap.
to
Am I
use
right,
that
boys?
word.
Ruby's
It's got the
really got the
riz.
riz. It's
Yeah.
got the riz. I mean, I don't even. I
Yeah.
literally don't know enough children's
Nope.
slang
Well,
to
to-
make this continue.
This
but
is one of
wow,
my
that was embarrassing.
the
for
best
you.
parts for me is I'm gonna take the wheel. This is our favorite part where I get us back on track.
Oh no.
For the sake of time, because I'm sure we can all talk about.
Interesting to me that she said no cap and now wants us back on track.
Don't worry, it's about to get
Something
worse.
I'd like to
Okay.
point out.
We wanted to offer a really fun one quick round to you because obviously we can talk about IPB all day, but we wanted to have a themed Mad Lib of which
Obviously.
I have selected, and it is from the filthiest book I own, which is the After Dark Mad Libs. The thing about this Mad Lib is, though, all of you guys are going to be picking IPB words.
So it has to be related to IPB
Yep.
in some
Oh, no.
way, or not
Okay.
hot,
In some
or
way.
whatever. Any of the overarching.
All right. Someone give me a noun.
That someone's me, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Spaghetti monster.
All right. All right. I need an adjective.
Lumpy. The ridges.
Oh,
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would have said
Okay.
the same thing.
Noun.
No, Georgie. I take it back, Georgie.
Why are you doing this to me?
All right. I need a letter of the alphabet.
Z.
I gotta know where that came from.
Wouldn't
I
you
need-
like to know?
Would.
I need.
That's why I asked.
you need what?
An adjective.
Cold.
Robyn, give me a part of the body.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with spur,
All right.
Choice.
I need
which
an.
is still a horn. Okay.
I need an animal. We do have some of the animals listed in the
Hopper.
Oh, a
A
hopper.
hopper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. I need a verb ending in ing.
Fucking.
Yeah.
That's what I
Perfect.
thought too. Nice. Sending psychic messages your way. Very good.
I need an adjective.
Soft.
Soft. Ooh. I need a noun.
Snow.
All right. Verb ending in ing.
Hiking.
I need an adverb. Those are your LYs.
Oh my god. Thank God I've got this nifty little thing here. Let me think. LYs. That's you giving me the hardest one.
Yeah, she did. On
You're my
purpose.
strongest warrior.
Oh my god, God hates me. Oh geez. The word that just came in my head, which don't use this, is creamily.
You should use
You
that.
could
Yeah,
use
yeah.
it.
I think you should use
All
it.
right,
Use
use it.
It's super funny that you targeted my least favorite word.
Yeah,
and
that's
the whole
literally
entire
Ivy's
I'm
least
episode.
favorite
so
word.
sorry. I'm so sorry. That was not my intention.
All right.
Oh
I
no,
need a.
it's a running joke.
It constantly.
First of all, creamily surely cannot be a word.
It is
On
now.
this podcast, it is.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
I need a verb.
Oh, it's so hard. Rubbing.
Rubbing. Okay.
Oh.
That spur's got to do something.
A noun.
Disgusting. I'm sorry. I thought I came on a Christian podcast, guys.
Marie,
Marie,
you're up.
give me a noun.
Wait, where are we at? You need
I
a
just
noun?
need a noun.
Cooey.
Cooey. I gotta spell this phonetically. Cooey. All right. I need an adjective.
Blue.
Blue. All right. And the last one is an animal.
I think Robyn should have the last one.
The animal?
I need an animal.
Oh my god. What are the guys called that are like white and doggy? Metlock.
Metlock.
The
All right.
dogs.
Oh, the dog ones? Oh, the Metlocks are the monkey ones.
Well, yeah, but they smell like wet dog.
The
That
dog-
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing that
okay.
they keep saying.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know my iPid cast.
All
It's
right.
fine.
So
It's
we've got
fine.
what your favorite position says about you.
Oh my god.
This should be good.
You've read the Spaghetti Monster Sutra backward and forward and have mastered all the lumpy positions in the book. So what does
Oh,
your
so
favorite
hot.
Georgie say about you? First, there's the erotic Z. You enjoy cold penetration and
Ooh.
have incredible spur strength.
Yeah.
The rocking hopper. You don't mind fucking up and up and down for long periods of time. I never mind fucking up.
I am constantly fucking up, actually, and I'm really glad you brought this up.
The glowing triangle. Triangles aren't just for soft band geeks, but you may have played snow in the high school hiking band. Oh, that one was mild. We've got the padlock. You love your partner so much you creamily want to let them go.
That was horrifying.
The next move is the slide. You own stock in Astro Rub and Petroleum Cooey.
What?
Gross. Yep.
Ew.
I
I,
love
don't like
that.
that.
Yep. And the
Do not
last
KY
No.
Cooey.
Yeah, the last position is the ape. You're always up for
This works.
yeah, you're always up for a blue challenge, especially
does.
when it comes to making love like a Metlack.
Ugh.
Oh.
That's that.
I
Oh,
want you to think about that for a
That's
minute.
that.
There is a book in the series where there's a Metlock who is in love with a girl.
I
is following
forgot
her
about
around.
this.
There is.
And all I can think about, listen, I'm pretty sure this is coming to the end of the podcast, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to be leaving the listeners with this.
Yeah,
That's good.
this is their lasting thought.
I'm really glad. And cut. No. The entire time I was reading that, because of how the books are, I was like, oh my god, she's going to fuck this man up. I was
also
convinced.
thought that.
I was like, are they really?
That's
more
I thought that's
I was
where
like-
we were going.
Like,
And then all I can picture is this like monkey that smells like wet dog on top of this sweet little girl. And it just made me want to die. And I think about it often.
yeah.
Is that your Roman
more
Empire?
often than I think Ruby intended.
I wonder
Is
if
it your
you're
Roman
still
Empire?
alive. Yeah.
It
I
isn't my Roman Empire, but it's like the preface to the Roman Empire. Like,
Yeah.
it is. It's
Okay.
it's noteworthy. Like
It's the decline of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the
Yes.
what went wrong.
Yep.
We're gonna start with the Metlack fucking.
Yeah.
And I just think about it a lot. And in my brain, you know those like little monkey keychains that like their hands like snap together and they're like
Mm-hmm.
on the
Please-
side.
Please don't
That's
ruin
what
keychains
Metlack's-
for me.
That's what Metlacks look like to me.
Oh,
in my
I thought
brain.
they were more like Jawas from Star Wars.
Wrong.
That's definitely where I
everyone.
got.
no.
Yeah.
But like
No.
shaggier,
Jawas.
like shaggier than
Yeah.
little monkey guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that is
Yeah.
100% what I think
Yeah.
of when I think of the Metlack. So I just picture this little keychain being
Just-
like, I'm in love with you. Here's a watermelon. Let's have sex.
I brought you a melon. Now give me your melon.
Now suck my dick.
Have some healing salve.
Because let's be
fine.
honest, the entire first
Yeah.
book, even if you get nowhere past the first book, it is effectively the equivalent of a person having sex with a Metlack. Because they don't speak. They don't speak
Nope.
the same language.
Nope.
Is he clean? We don't know. Considering he's been hiking around for days, and
Their first
she
interaction
was
is
in
him
a
eating her
alien
out.
ship.
Yeah.
In a
In an
trap.
alien ship for 3 weeks
Yep.
that she's been peeing and not even being able to wipe her pee.
Nope.
lots of filth layers here to unpack. So I'm sorry, but I did not expect that to not end in fucking.
So when it didn't, were you relieved or disappointed?
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed, I'm gonna be honest. Listen, especially like the second or third time I read through this book, I was like, oh right. We aren't gonna fuck this monkey.
It's cool. I didn't want
dog.
to anyway. It's fine. I didn't get all
That's
dressed up
fine.
for this. It's okay. This is
It's fine.
It's
I didn't
fine.
even.
It's cool.
I'm not even bothered by it. Actually, I've actually never been better. Thank you for asking.
I'm also looking for a non-committed relationship. This is fine.
I don't even like watermelon, so I don't know why you would think that I would want to be here. I'm partial to the not potatoes. Okay? I mean,
Oh yes, yes.
it's too hot in here. If anything, put me back in the snow.
God.
Get me out of the fruit
But
cave.
thank you so much, Robyn, for
Thank
coming on
you.
our podcast and for being
Oh
the
my
mother of the
gosh.
podcast.
Thanks for having me.
We will.
Yeah. Like we could do a whole
Yes.
nother
I'm
IPB
so down
episode,
to talk
be
about
honest.
anything. Did you guys ever talk about? Now this has got
Not
nothing
yet.
to do with this.
No.
But did you guys ever
We
talk
didn't.
about the Four Horsemen?
Not yet.
No.
No, we
You haven't a Horseman
haven't.
episode yet?
Oh no,
You bet, bitch! You better bring me
we
back
have
for
not
that.
had Horsemen.
I got so much
We
to
also
say.
haven't talked about the vampires.
Just never forget that I'm your victor.
We all
You're always my Victor Ivy.
yeah.
I'm gonna introduce you to people like that. I'll be like, "This is Victor."
No,
And
my
they're gonna be like,
Victor.
My Victor. This is my Victor. And they're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Are you good?" And I'll be like, "Am I good? Do you mean great?" I'm doing amazing. Again, this is my Victor.
But
The
to do
author
that
does
episode, I
follow
have to
us
read it
now on
again.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Thanks to my book
I'm
report.
sorry.
They do.
You're lying to me right now.
What?
No,
Oh my god.
We've
Katie,
actually-
this is a
we've actually
mental
kind
I
of
read
illness
something else by her.
podcast.
we've gathered a little bit of a following.
Just a little
Well,
bit.
you know, I've had people message me a few times because I've mentioned the Smut Heathens book club on Coffee and Cauldron.
Oh,
And I've had a few people mention me being like, "Oh, I know you have a book club. What kind of books do you read? What do you recommend?" And I was like, "I got you. There's a podcast that exists, and here's their social media. Why don't you go check that out? Don't take my word for it. Take theirs." And I just wonder how many people I've accidentally like deeply traumatized with that information.
you know, we do have a really
We
good
do.
disclaimer at the
Yep.
beginning of every
No,
episode
I like to think that
about what we talk
that they
about.
go, "Oh, high fantasy? That sounds amazing."
If they
I'm
got
gonna
high
dig through
fantasy
this."
out of my disclaimer, I am so worried for their reading
Listen,
comprehension.
here, I'm gonna say something, and I don't mean this in a mean way.
You can.
But if I've learned anything from creating content over the last decade, it's that people don't read shit. You can literally post a watermark on your photo that says, "This account is the only account that is doing this," and they'll still be like, "I got scammed by this account, this other account, and you owe me money." And it's like, I do not. You reading
No.
comprehension, friend.
No.
Also,
Oh, go
If
ahead.
I didn't
Ivy.
know what a verb was until I was 17, you can figure it out.
piggybacking off of what you said, actually, Robyn, if Coffee
Yes.
and Cauldrons got the truly unbearable review, I think that truly traumatizing is perfect for us.
I
Yeah.
agree. Honestly, the truly unbearable review is something that I just like am so proud of. Like, I really am. I don't know if you guys saw the review that I posted on my stories today.
I
What the
did.
fuck is wrong with these
Yes.
girls?
Yeah.
If I get a review like that, I'm crying. Okay, that's a 10 out of 10 for me right there, buddy.
Hey, look, Ma, I made it.
I mean, when they said that we were smart but annoying as fuck, I was like 10 out of 10, baby. I made it.
Oh.
You think I'm smart? I already knew I was annoying. This is great.
Robyn, could you remind us again where we can find you? Because I do understand we can give you money because your shop is back open.
Yeah, baby, my shop is open. I am everywhere at A Tired Witch on social media, or you can go to tiredwitch.com/links. And then there you go. That's me. That's literally every link that I could have ever thought of was underneath there. And if it's not there, you're being scammed. I'm not gonna ask you to send a PayPal to Rebecca Gomez at gmail.com. Who the fuck is Rebecca? You're being scammed.
You can't send all your money to feralfridaypod.com though. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my word.
My Venmo is at Ivy Crane.
Who the fuck is John Lewis 7894? And why do you think that person is connected to me?
It's perfect.
And why did you send them a friends and family payment? Hello?
Because I'm smart and pretty and
Somebody literally once messaged me because I'm not even joking. They sent a scammer $4,000.
What?
I'm like,
Oh.
hey guys,
Had that
I
much?
actually will do the work. That's not what I charge, but if you wanted to send me $4,000 for it, I will take it. And you will get a reading at the end of it. Again, you could have gotten it for a fraction, like a minute fraction of the price. But I will take your $4,000. That's fine. You can send it to me. Love you.
Holy shit. Speaking of love you, we love everyone who got to this point. We love you for listening.
Yes.
You know where to
Thanks
find
for
us on the
listening.
email. I don't need to remember what the email is because someone built us a beautiful website, so you can find us all there. But if you have
That's so nice.
any questions, that beautiful person's actually Sarah.
That's so nice.
One. Sarah
But
one.
if you have any,
feralfridaypod.com.
if you have any questions, shoot us a DM, shoot us an email. To also just quickly go over, as far as spoilers, obviously we talked about IPB a lot this episode. We put up a disclaimer. We're not going to be talking about spoiling Akatar. We're not going to be talking about spoiling Yaros' work. And we're also not going to be talking about the leak that comes up with CC3. So don't ask us. We're not going to spoil it. Thank you.
I'm going to spoil it. The spoiler is I don't like Akatar. Spoiler, baby.
Thank you, and
good night. Bye.
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 Thank you so much for listening to the Feral Friday podcast. Join us every Friday for unhinged shenanigans, books, games, and more. You can find us on Instagram at Feral Friday Pod. Did you know we have a website? Visit us at www.feralfridaypod.com. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like us to cover a particular book or series, please send us an email at bferal@feralfridaypod.com. Happy reading!
Feral Friday.